I was looking for a place where we could raise a family. And I had some friends in Utah that had either lived in Maine or recently visited, and they knew that it was a great place to raise a family, that we love the four seasons and the outdoors, and they said, you really need to check out Maine. It's really hard to put into words because Maine is such a beautiful place, with the oceans, lakes, forest and mountain all being readily accessible. But just within the first year, we've had the opportunity to explore the ocean with Popham State Beach, Reed State Park, and Ogunquit. We've also spent some time camping at Moosehead and Sebago Lakes. We've been exploring around some of the islands here around Portland, as well as had the opportunity to look at some of the fall scenery in the White Mountains. The kids are doing great. This is their first opportunity to live near the ocean and really experience that aspect of life. And they have had some friends, we've had friends and family come and visit us who have never been to Maine before, and it's just been a great experience for them. Hello, I'm Jeremy Young, and you can find your Maine job at liveandworkinmaine.com.
Yeah.
Hi, puppy. Oh, you are so cute. Hi. You're a puppy, I can tell. What is your name? Hi, Claire. You finally get out the window. We were talking, so nice to meet you. Thanks.
An echo of an echo is the semblance of a sound, and I pressed and I've waited with my ear upon the ground. Oh, lover, I'll see you there, waiting in the willows with your autumn hair. Oh, lover, I'll see you there after many miles.
Hey everybody, this week our MaineLife adventure brings us to Augusta. I'm wearing my Kennebec savings jacket today because that is exactly where we are, and I'm sitting here with the president and CEO, Andrew Silsby, here at your headquarters. And this building is
Was built in 1816, so 202 years old.
The history walking in here every day must be really cool.
I often sit around and think about what people said when they were in this room back 200 years ago. I suspect they will probably talk about some of the same issues we talk about today.
So, president and CEO of Kennebec Savings Bank, what does that entail? Sounds big.
Well, no 2 days are ever the same, Erin, that's for certain. Banking has a reputation of being kind of boring, and but that's not been my experience in my 25 years here at the bank.
Well, you do a lot in the community. You work not only with your customers here, but you give back a lot, I know.
We do. We dedicate 10% of our income to go back to the communities that we serve, and we're very proud of that. Last year, that was over $700,000, and we have the ability to change a lot of projects that are going on in Central Maine. There's a lot of good stuff going on here.
Yeah, so on MaineLife we get to tell you guys about it. So what are some of your favorite things to do, and where are we going to go this year?
Oh, well, we've got a lot of outdoor activities in Central Maine, and I think folks will like to see that. There's a vibrancy in Central Maine that we need to expose.
So our first stop today is
the Viles Arboretum, 224 acres in the center of the city. And it's an arboretum and a botanical gardens and some art and some 5 miles of paths, walking and hiking, and I think you'll like it.
And after a lovely day outside, at the end of a hard day, what is always good to have?
Oh, probably a glass of beer or a glass of wine.
Yeah, and you had your hand, which is really cool because we've been to Cushnoc Brewing before on the show. You helped those guys. We
did. We played a small role in helping to get that establishment open, and it's been a fun experience. And I think we're going to meet with Tobias later today, Parkhurst, and also James Bass, and those are 2 of the 4 owners. And I think it'll be fun.
And I'm excited. I love beer and all our great breweries, but wine is really my thing. There's a new wine bar.
We have a wine bar that's right across the street, and it's actually the wife of the brewer at Cushnoc Brewery, and Katie Smith, and I think you'll like it. She got a really neat idea on a wine bar.
So business is good.
Business in Central Maine is really picking up. There's lots of good stuff going up in Waterville and Hollowell and Gardner and Winthrop. All of the communities have They each have their unique downtowns, and I think it'll be fun to showcase some of those things that are going on. But we're going to start in Augusta downtown
Great.
first.
Absolutely. Thank you for your partnership. I can't wait to explore more, but today I'm going to grab my boots in the car and we're going to head over to the Arboretum.
Let's do it.
All right.
Great, so where should we begin?
Well, we can start in the visitor center. We've got snowshoes for you guys.
Okay,
And then we'll go for a walk.
great.
Yeah, it's a real gem, as Andrew knows. Andrew's been up here many, many times.
So this is the Welcome Center. Do they have to come and check in here, or can they just start right outside?
We do not charge admission, but we try to encourage people to come in here as a starting point to the trail system that we've got. And, you know, because there are a lot of exhibits in here of things that they might want to learn about or see further out on the property. So people can use the restrooms here, they can learn about membership, which is our lifeblood as a nonprofit organization. And then, you know, get to meet our friendly staff and get a trail map, maybe pick up a membership form and check out the bees. The bees are overwintering. They don't do a whole lot of flying because they need nectar out in the field during the summertime, and during the winter, in a hive like this, they're just basically, it's not a true hibernation, but they're overwintering, and they feed. This is an amazing place within sight of the capital.
Right. So you want to get outside?
Sure, let's go. Yeah, let's go on the trail and see what we can find.
Still enough weather for our snowshoes, huh?
I guess so.
Should we put them on?
Yeah, we might as well.
Thank you.
That beer is going to taste good, Erin.
Oh my God. This is really pretty. We've got to come back in the summer.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But you know, I'll tell you, in the wintertime, it's a whole different world. This is where the new education center is going to go.
Oh, great.
So that would be a place where people can gather and get ready for their adventure. And we're raising money for it as we speak. We're almost halfway there. It's a $130,000 project. But it will be the support facility for everything we do here. Kennebec Savings Bank has been a very important supporter of everything that we do here from year after year after year. And I know Andrew's been up, and other people from the bank come up and help volunteer during the summer, which is a lot of fun. One of the things that we've been trying to do with the Arboretum is to open it to the public, make it interesting, make it fun for everybody. The inspiration for all of our art came from nature, and it's a great connection for the kids and the families. And where else can you go in Maine where there's no admission fee and you can appreciate art as if you were at the Boston Museum of Fine Arts?
And you're outside.
And you're outside. So
The main way.
we're going to head up the trail here.
Okay.
And we're
So Mark, I recall sliding on a hill out back when I was
oh
a
yeah,
kid.
yeah, that's right.
Is there a sliding hill back there?
There is, and we call it the Suicide Hill. This is an area that people can put their hives if they don't have a place to keep bees, like let's say they live in an apartment, and they have access to all of our educational instruction and the Beekeepers Association, and they will help them learn how to keep bees. And you can see we have 2 hives here right now, but we wanted to bring awareness to the plight of pollinators in general. So another piece, like the art brings people in, well, the honeybees sort of bring people in and realize, wow, there's a real connection between the honey in the supermarket and everything out in nature.
How does it get there?
connected.
Yeah, it's all connected. So
Great. Thank you.
let's walk faster.
I just rode back to
Good
blow your
afternoon.
up.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm great.
Good.
We just came back from the Arboretum. Have you been?
I have. It's beautiful there.
Isn't it nice?
I like to go there a lot in the summer with my dogs, actually.
We were doing some snowshoeing over there.
Oh,
so
nice.
Time for a beer.
Yeah, we're
Very
ready.
nice.
We're thirsty.
Have you been here before?
I have. I was going to say, Tobias and I met when this was almost, was it early October, a month before you
There was
opened.
nothing here,
right.
really.
There was nothing here, but I have
shell.
been back.
And we did open on
Pretty
time.
amazing looking.
You did open on
We did
time.
open
I
on
saw on Facebook.
There was some question at that moment, I
It
think.
was total chaos, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was
Have you been here from the
total
beginning?
chaos. A couple days afterwards. I was
Oh.
transitioning from another job. So I used to work with Casey, one of the partners.
Oh yeah, okay. So what do you recommend?
Well, you're here for beer, or he said yes. The top 7 beers are here, brewed right here on the premises, right downstairs below us. We do have some guest taps available. The second page you will find a wine list as well. There's also some drink specials
We're
on the
going
back
to
here.
Circa after this.
You
so-
are? Okay, so no wine. The
like
latest
it.
thing we currently have on the menu would be the Kresge. It's a German Kolsch. It's like a lager. It's crystal clear yellow. You can see right through it.
Great.
Very drinkable, light.
I'm gonna try The Time for Excuses is Over.
Okay. Brand new. We just introduced it Sunday.
Perfect.
Selling really well, though. What would you
And
like?
I'll do a lawyer up.
Lawyer up? Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh wow.
And lawyer up.
So I'll put in a couple of pizzas for when they get the oven, but I feel like some of you guys should pick.
Surprise! I'm never surprised.
All good.
Okay, so
Never
let's get
surprised?
let's get a Fort Western.
Usually no.
and diner closes at 2.
Yeah. Let me get a drink.
Cheers to
Hot
us.
sauce. Oh,
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
So things are going well? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, isn't that a good beer?
That's
That's
a good
a
beer.
great all-day beer.
Tell me what I mean, I've been back since I've seen you guys, but I haven't seen you since we interviewed you before it opened.
So since we opened on Halloween, we've introduced 19 new beers,
Wow.
which is something that has kept it fun and interesting. We've added a couple of things to the menu, a few more salads, some appetizers, still focusing on the wood-fired pizza. And we have a couple of pretty exciting expansions going on as well. I'm sure if you talked to Chris, he told you a little bit about the tanks that we added and
Yeah.
stuff. But we're also opening a tasting room on the basement level of this building, which is going to open May 5th. And that'll be like sort of a traditional brewery tasting room experience. 10 Cushnoc taps. We're going to introduce a line of sodas that will be available brewed in-house, but available on premise only. And even lighter fare down there. So we'll do a little bit of food. But not
Really?
Yeah.
And that's coming right up.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
They're down there working right now.
We're gonna get some
At
video of that.
least they better be.
Nice to see locals coming in and enjoying what you guys created.
Yeah, we've been happy with how well the place has been received, and it's more than we had hoped for. It's more than we were really ready for, but we're lucky to have a pretty experienced crew, and we were able to roll with it pretty fast. And I would say just about 5 months in, we almost have it together. Almost
I
have
was
it
gonna
together.
say, you're born and raised here, and this is the first brewery in Augusta, right?
It is. Yeah.
It's a long time coming.
It's a long time coming for sure. I mean, I was amazed the other day. I came down on a Tuesday night. I came around from Hartford Station. Car lights are headed downtown. Every parking space is filled. I mean, it's amazing.
Good.
It's a new thing. That is a new thing.
Ooh,
Okay. Ooh, all right.
You sure you don't want a beverage?
thank you.
Water with a slice of lemon.
Water? All right.
That.
Oh, whoa.
Wow, this is
So this
great.
is the diner closes at 2, and it is in honor of the downtown diner right down the street, and it closes at 2 o'clock. So this is, and I'm not going to give the fancy names, but it's eggs, scallions, some honey drizzle, bacon, and potatoes.
And a ricotta cheese base.
How did you come up with this?
This
This is a
actually, I
dude
actually will take
pizza.
credit for this one. This one was actually my idea. And this is the Fort Western, right, Michael?
Correct.
Yep.
And this is pancetta, mushrooms, and arugula with a
White sauce.
white sauce.
Wow. Yum.
Great.
You have everything you need?
We do.
Yeah. And more. Cheers to that, my friends.
Yeah, big demand.
Yeah. Thank you. This is sweet. So, did they move up together?
I'm Dave Vasconcelos. I'm the Vice Chair on the Board of Junior Achievement of Maine, and I've been involved for about 6 years now, and our goal is really to teach financial literacy and entrepreneurship and be that first step of the ladder to workforce development in Maine. It is built for every grade level that there is, so there's a curriculum that's built by Junior Achievement, the national office, and it's shared with us, and it makes it really easy for volunteers to go into the classroom. So we work with the elementary schools, the high schools, the middle schools.
then it goes up to the college years from there. So everyone is doing their part, and it's a stage, and we'd just like to be that first person through the door. You can learn more at jamaine.org.
I'm a proud sponsor of the Maine Women's Lobby. I'm Seth Rigoletti, leadership coach, and I want to thank the Maine Women's Lobby for their continuous leadership and empowerment of Maine women and girls.
I'm an immigrant myself, originally from Zambia. Been in the United States, in Portland, Maine, actually, for 18 years. The challenges, whether it's you're an immigrant or a woman, are kind of the same because you're, fighting for a place, at the table. And this, for immigrant women without English, you're not even at the table. That was just one of my challenges professionally, was just being able to be heard and being able to be trusted that, I can do the work that I say I can do. I'm qualified, I can do that. I'm still privileged to be working with the Women's Lobby now in my new role because, they are passionate to the mission of, fighting for the rights of immigrants, regardless of whether they're women or men.
Summer.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, we did. It was a great summer too. And it was and summer here. Just is like amazing. We were in heaven compared to Savannah's like sweltering. But yeah, and then we got. We're a little different at Circa for most places, but I think for Maine we're a lot different. But we're a bar first and foremost, but our focus is on wine really, and the bulk of our wines that are available by the glass come from kegs, just like beer kegs. And they look the same as a beer keg, so they're metal and they've got a Sankey tap, and it comes out of a tap. But it's wine, it's forced out with nitrogen instead of CO2, so it keeps it really hermetically sealed. It's not oxidating, and so it's not spoiling the wine, it keeps it fresh. So every time that you have a glass of wine from Circa, it's like a freshly opened bottle.
Nice.
Just for you. So if you've ever been
Can
to a
I have
wine
one
bar,
in my
yes,
house?
Right? No, actually you can. Yeah, so you absolutely can. And the kegs are totally available. Since if I can get them, you can get them too. You just have to ask one of your local wine shops if they could pour one for you. Wine producers love it because they use them in their tap rooms pretty frequently. So, and they're just pouring through so much wine in their tap rooms. But the best part for the wine producers is that their wine's being tasted the way they want it to be tasted. I love the alcohol industry. It's not competitive in the way that most industries are. It's a lot more collaborative. Winemakers talk to other winemakers. Of course we're all competition, and even with the bars here on Water Street, we're all technically competition with each other.
Your husband, who's the brewer at
Kushnoc. But, it's when we all win, we all win. And I think the way that Tobias says it is that a rising tide floats all boats. And in the alcohol industry in particular, and maybe it's because we're kind of in the fun industry, you really see that a little bit more. And you see it really in Augusta very, very prominently. So we've done, bar crawls, we've done fundraisers that are streetwide that all of the restaurants, all of the bars get involved with, and we promote each other. Because when more people want to come down for my place, then they're also going to see Kushnoc, or they'll see Black and Tan, or they'll see Riverfront. So it's really this great, fun industry where you don't have to worry so much about being cutthroat. And I've been in the cutthroat industries, and those are fun too in their own different way. But it's kind of nice to be on the nice side of things. When we came to Augusta, Kristen and I saw nothing but opportunity, and that's really what we've seized on. And the community, Andrew and Kennebec Savings in particular, really, responded to that. The response here has just been overwhelmingly positive for us. Here we are from away, and we're coming in saying, we're gonna build new businesses, we wanna buy this house, renovate this house, and all that we've heard is go baby go.
Nice.
And we're not as crazy as we seem. We're usually actually pretty risk averse. Both Chris and I are usually pretty risk averse. But you see it, this is a beautiful downtown, and the people here, like I said, the response has been amazing. I don't think a day has gone by in either of our establishments where somebody hasn't thanked us for taking a chance on Augusta.
Cool.
And for a for-profit business, you never hear that. It's amazing. So it's a really powerful community. And so when you see that and you have the opportunity to be a part of that, how can you not do it? You'd regret it for the rest of your life if you didn't go for it. If you didn't go, baby, go.
As far as on draft, my favorites are our rosé and our Côte d'Aron, which is a really nice, dry, big, earthy one. And it's from Famille Perrin, which is a remarkable winemaker. They are millennia old. They have a biodynamic winery, but it's a good, really earthy, barny Côte d'Aron.
I might have to try one. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you, my friend. What a day this has been. Wow, I can't wait to the next adventure. Pink looks good on you.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Nice way to end the day.
It is a nice way to end the day.
How do you like it?
Awesome.
Good. That's
Côte
amazing.
d'Aron is probably, I learned about it when I first moved to Portland.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
We're here. Good, Chris. Good.
Good. Mara has a couple of Eternal Golden Eagles here.
Fantastic.
So one of our core year-round beers, and right here I have Propelled by Gravity. This was brewed specially for our Pinewood Derby race of last week. So
Well, thank you very much.
enjoy.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Well, welcome back to Kushnoc. We're here with two very special guests, and you've already heard our two very special beers, Propelled by Gravity and the Golden Eagle?
The Eternal
Golden Eagle. Oh, that's good. So, Keith, Luke, and Steve Hewins both have a very strong presence, not only here in the area, but the entire state, because of the impact of both economic development, tourism. You can't say one without the other, really, can you? It's so closely tied. Luke, let's start with you. Economic development, restaurant resurgence downtown, Water Street, Augusta. Here we are in the presence of that. Tell us more.
I've been here in Augusta for 5 years now, and 4 years ago I moved downtown at really the front end of the resurgence here in the downtown. And one of the factors that's really driven the revival here is the commitment and the development of market rate kind of upscale apartments. I live in one right across the street. We were saying earlier, this isn't my backyard, it's my front yard. I can see it from my window. And it's been fantastic to see, just as we've discussed in my profession for many years, that the driving factor for downtown redevelopment should be upper floor development. We've done that here in Augusta, and it's worked very well.
Steve, I've recently seen news in the Press Herald around some new revenue numbers that have been brought forward by the hospitality industry across the state. And I think if I recall correctly, the number was $3.8 billion brought into the state.
Right.
That's incredible. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that makes you really excited. I'd love for you to talk about that a little bit.
It's all because of your leadership,
Yes,
right?
thank you for that. Thank you for the kudos for that. No, it's actually the work of a lot of entrepreneurs and individual businesses that have really capitalized on, I think, Maine's attractiveness as a destination. You know, we're on the top 10 list, we're the hottest place right now, and people are coming, and it's reflected in the numbers. I mean, it's the third year in a row with record revenues, both restaurants and hotels. Hotels broke $1 billion in revenue for the first time in Maine history this year, 2017. But it's really a fast-growing rate. $3.8 billion, as you point out, brought into the state because much of it is imported money. I mean, I always tell people that the hospitality industry is largely an export industry. You know, we're basically exporting, I guess, those dreams, but we're importing money from away, and that's very important to the economy. A place like Cushnoc, where we're at today, is the beachhead of leading downtown resurgences. You know, it starts pretty much with restaurants, artists mainly, others. They're attracted to the rents, which are more reasonable than they might be in downtown Portland. What we're seeing in Augusta, we're seeing in places like Belfast, Biddeford, Saco, Skowhegan, Bangor, Lewiston. I mean, pick your places. They're old cities that have sort of gone a little off the page for a while. Now they're coming back, led much by hospitality.
I think the challenge that we'll deal with in leveraging the success, specifically of the microbrewing industry and the spirits industry that's here in Maine, is finding what works well in conjunction with it. We've got a commercial vacancy rate in our downtown that's higher than we would like, and that's not a unique problem in either Maine or across the country right now. And working to identify opportunities, things that can leverage the patrons of these types of establishments to fill retail space in a profitable and sustainable way. That's a challenge we have right now.
Well, with that, I'd like to raise a toast. Thank you both for joining us today, for sharing your wisdom with us, and I hope you'll join us again on What's Brewing.
That's
My
great.
pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming to Augusta.